Hello, Business Revolution. It's Brent the Businessman, and we are back with another episode from the number one business podcast in the nation. Now, for my new people, you may be wondering, why is BRP so popular? And I'm going to tell it to you like this. Number one, we interview the best experts in all industries. Number two, we read from the best books written of all time. With the combination of the wisdom from the books and the golden nuggets that we get from the interviews, you can take on anything and everything in the world of business. So before we get into today's interview, I want you to like, subscribe, and click the notification bell so that you can continue to keep getting these episodes sent your way. So today we have a very special guest, Mr. Bruce Byrd Jr. Here's his quick bio. Take notes. Bruce Byrd is out of St. Louis, Missouri. He's a father of five, and his friends call him Boss Man Bruce. He started back in 2016 in the wholesale real estate business. And now he's invested in crypto, and he has a cleaning company, and he's also invested in the cannabis market. So for all of my entrepreneurs and my business people, make sure to grab something to write with because a master has just entered the room. Bruce, can you hear me, sir?
Yes, sir. How you doing, Brent?
I'm good. It's good to see you.
All right.
Thank you. So for all of our newbies, you may have not known yet, but ask somebody that knows already. This is going to be a 3-part discussion. Topic of discussion number 1, we're going to learn more about Bruce. So we're going to lift the hood and dive deep and find out about his background, see who he is. Number 2, we're going to learn about Bruce's early success. If you know anything about success, it leaves clues. So that's why we want to go ahead and ask those questions and find more, dive deep in that direction. And then the third topic of discussion is, what is Bruce up to now? And as you know, we heard crypto, we heard cannabis. We're excited to learn more about that. So let's start from the top. So Bruce Byrd, who is Bruce Byrd? Tell us where you're from, and do you have family, siblings? Tell us a little bit more.
Yeah, as you said already, I'm from St. Louis, Missouri. I have 4 daughters, 1 son. I'm currently in a cleaning. I have a cleaning company. I have invested in cannabis, and I also have 6 brothers and sisters. 6. I'm the second oldest, and it comes a lot with that because you got people who look up to you, and even my older sister and stuff like that.
Mm-hmm.
Me, I'm a guy that enjoys learning, getting wisdom from others, understanding that I don't know everything. That's really the moral story. I got a praying family also.
Awesome. Now, as far as education's concerned, did you graduate from university? Did you do any trade schools? Any education background?
No, I did. No, I went to college, and I dropped out of college. I went to a community college called Forest Park in St. Louis, Missouri. I dropped out with financial issues.
Mm-hmm.
That's the most part. But other than that, I was trying to just keep my head above water.
Mm-hmm.
Working odd jobs, then working at a job at the post office. Then boom, my uncle introduced me to real estate.
Oh, gotcha. So dropped out of college, went to community college, but ended up going to the workforce and ending up in real estate. There's a lot of entrepreneurs that left college. Steve Jobs is one of them. So you're in a good class of folks. Now, as far as special training, can you karate? Can you dance? Can you snowboard? Do you ride bikes, swim? Any special skills that we don't know about?
I can dance a little bit.
Okay.
What else? I want to play violin. That's my next hobby. I want to do. Learn to play violin. So
Nice.
when I get some extra time.
Gotcha. Now, what is it are some of your interests outside of business? What would you say?
I meditate a lot and I pray also a lot to get direction, clear direction, from God. I also like to read, the Bible. I also read this book called The Game of Life and How to Play It, which was like one of my epic book that changed my life. Next to the Bible, that's what I like to. That's what I like to do. I like to enjoy different things. I like picnics. I like walk through the parks. Certain things like that.
Gotcha. Gotcha. Do you have any favorite holidays that you celebrate?
No, I don't. I really don't have no favorite holidays. I believe like every day a holiday when I wake up.
Hey, I love it. Absolutely. And so, what would you say is important to you in life right now? What would you say?
My peace, my happiness. My growth. My relationship with God and my kids.
That's powerful. That's powerful. And so, what would you say your mission is right now?
My mission is just to get closer to my calling, which is my purpose in life, and not just that the people that come in to have access or contact with me, they get close to their calling also.
And my last question in this topic of learning more about you, what do you love?
Man, I love having a intellectual conversation with people. I love that people's stories that's unique like mine. That came from humble beginnings. That's not trying to fabricate anything. Like it's just been a fairy tale, because my life ain't been a fairy tale. And it's feel refreshing when you can sit down and have a vulnerable conversation with other individuals.
Absolutely. And so, for all of our listeners and our viewers, I want you to type truth in the comment section. Again, type truth. And the reason I say that is because that last statement to me was your authentic truth. And I respect that. And so many entrepreneurs and business owners, should adopt that same truth, because it's one that attracts wealth and success. And I know that's exactly what our viewers want. So thank you for dropping that gem. So powerful. Now, moving into the second topic of discussion, we're going to talk about the early years. So think back to that, early success, and, give us a story of early success. Which story would you like to share?
Well, I'm gonna go back when I was in third grade. Cutting grass at my grandpa's house.
That's
I didn't
good.
even know that. I didn't even know I was an entrepreneur then. I didn't know that God was orchestrating me to get to this point where I'm at right now. Just going back and just cutting grass and leaving with $30, going back to school. I wanted all ones to look like it's a big wad of money to show other people, and to buy candy and stuff like that. But that was my really breaking point when he first paid me. And I was like, wow, I started got paid for cutting my grandpa grass. That was my earlyhood success. And not just that, with my uncle, my next was my uncle telling me about real estate back in 2015. He made $1.2 million in real estate and every year. And he was just telling me that you really want to feed your kids, get into real estate. I didn't know how it was just a riddle, but I said, how do I get into real estate? It's easy to do. You don't need that much. So that's why I learned about wholesaling. Before then, I was already thinking about, once he told me that, my brain got to really, just going in motion. So my cousin Corey Allen, he was over my apartment complex balcony. He was like, man, I wonder how much this apartment complex is. And I started researching, and then I found the owner, and then me and him got to talking.
Gotcha. Now, this early success, one, you made money, cutting grass with granddad. Second, uncle, was an introduction to real estate.
Yes.
So, were there any other partners or associates involved with these successes besides the two gentlemen?
Abraham, I did my first wholesale deal, which I made $5,000 off my first wholesale deal, which I closed within a month or two. Elliot Jackson, who's an ex-NFL player, he taught me more about apartment buildings. You know, it's
Mhm.
crazy how God, when you want to find something out and you seeking it, he'll put people in your pathway for you to learn it better. And you know, and it wasn't as he broke it down, because people be scared to go get apartment buildings. In actuality, it's low competition because everybody's buying houses. And you got these people that's have 20, 30 years and they just ready to give it up. You know, and he told me, like, you just need a down payment like you need with a house. That's it. You know, you don't have to have credit. You can use your partner's credit. And if you got money, then you can have the money, or you can go get the money some other how, you know. So, you know, it's about your willingness to learn. You know, Elliot Jackson, Shauna, in Georgia, even when I didn't know how to do the ARV, when I first got into real estate, I was talking to this guy in Georgia. I forgot his name. I have plenty of mentors in St. Louis, Missouri, Chad Camden, Josh Tabor. My first deal, my second deal I did was with Tom Echoes. You know, so you know, just learning as I go, and that's the thing about being an entrepreneur. You learn as you go, even through your mistakes. You know, I have made a mistake before when I was willy nilly, like, oh, I'm gonna go do a deal, and got myself in. My first deal was really a bust. You know, I lost earnest money over that. You know, that was success too. Also, I can't even say that wasn't success. That was success for me also, because I learned, like, hold on, we're going to have to analyze this more. We're going to move more strategic in your in what you're doing, your planning and everything else. So actually, my failure was my success.
That's great. That's great. Now, this early success, be it real estate and, you know, the grass cutting opportunity, how did you fund it? Like, you know, because everything, business owners and, you know, entrepreneurs say it all the time, I need money to get started. You know, so how did you fund your real estate, you know, first real estate success, and how did you fund getting the lawnmower and getting all that stuff done with granddad and cutting of the grass? What would you say?
Well, my grandpa already had a lawnmower already, you know, so I was blessed in that. With real estate wholesale, I didn't have no money. I went in with $0 down. I had my buyer put the earnest money down, you know, and I came back with 5,000. It might sound taboo to most people that's not an entrepreneur, but the people that's really entrepreneurs that's been in real estate, they know that it actually really do happen. In a contract, you put $1 down and say, yeah, I'm putting earnest money of $1 down or $100 down, and your buyer would give you that money back in return, you know, at closing. You know, so it's all about how you strategize your contract. You always got to have an exit. You also got to have, you know, whether, you know, the owner don't care about earnest money. They're really motivated. They're not thinking about no earnest money. They're really motivated. Right. You know, they just want the house gone, or they want the property gone. You know, and then I learned also now to use my partners as leverage. I have a partner, my cousin who he played ball overseas. I can use him as leverage, because now when you Google him, you see his name, and you know, when you think of basketball players, NFL players, you automatically think they have money, which some do. So they can look at their contracts on Google and see what they made. So now that's your proof of funds. You know, so I have, you know, people around me, business partners that I can use also if I need to. But yeah, money, it depends on the different person you deal with. Every person is different in every contract. Every deal is different. So it all it's different. You know, even my second deal I did, I didn't even put no money down. It's just that I had an buyer already in place already. And it goes big with networking. Networking is big in the entrepreneur world. So.
Absolutely. Now, you know, getting through the process of, you know, getting the deal with granddad or getting into real estate, you know, what were some of the challenges that you had to overcome?
When people that you want to help you don't want to help you, you know, being laughed at, people saying you don't know what you're doing. Of course, even when you start a new job, you don't know what you're doing. You know, doors being shut in my face, you know, that hurt. But it taught me to have tough skin, you know. And that's what I learned about the New York market. They made you have tough skin. I used to stay in New York for like almost 2 months. And when I stayed out there, they just ruthless, and they don't care about your feelings. You know, they care about a deal. So Just people just, it makes it seem like you don't know nothing. So that teaches you, learn your stuff so people don't have to think that way, or just have your stuff intact.
Mm,
That's been the biggest thing with people that you really know, even the people that's in it. Sometimes they won't respond back to you
that's
if you
true.
ask for help. And then now all my help really came from out of town people, not in my city.
Hmm.
And it was crazy. I even traveled like with no money when I didn't have no money for real. I traveled to Atlanta, Georgia, just to get knowledge. It wasn't
Mm-hmm.
about money. I wanted the knowledge on how to be better.
Mm-hmm.
I used to want to be the best entrepreneur ever. No, I don't want to be that. Everybody else can have that. I just want to take care of my family and be an influence and give people hope that you can do other things besides the normal.
Right. That's power. That's power. Now, going into the market, I mean, I guess this would apply to both success stories. What was your market dominating position, your unique selling proposition? Why would they do the deal with you in your early years of real estate
Yeah.
over the competition? What would you
I was
say?
honest. I was honest, and I worked hard to get it done. I
Mm,
met the needs. In real estate, everybody don't win. It's not going to be everybody win, 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 win. No, because you got the owners that want a certain amount for the house, and you got the buyers that want it at a certain price, and you got your price. So if I can downgrade my price to get the deal done, I'm willing to do that. And me being honest, not letting people get messed over in deals also, because I believe in good karma. I don't want no bad karma in my life.
mhm. That's good. That's good. Now, who were the most instrumental people a part of your success? Just to give shout outs to those folks in the beginning.
In the beginning, are they entrepreneurs or just
Whoever you see fit. Yeah.
uh my grandma Mary. My mother came away. She like when me and my mother talk now, she tell me like, I'm special. My cousin Corey Allen, uh, even my daughter Kennedy, she'll tell me, Dad, you can do it. Look at that, So um uh my little brother Marquise, my friend Thomas, um, my business partner Elliot, Nigel, Shauna, they out of state. Nigel, Shauna,
Mhm.
Elliot, and who else? And I don't want to be, seem like I'm forgetting people on purpose. It's been like God has surrounded me with so much love and so much positivity surrounding me just to get to the next level that, I call people my councilmen, because that's those who I go to when I need direction. And I listen to them to see if God gave them a message for me. How do I see that? Because they don't know what I'm dealing with. It's just confirmation when somebody don't know what you're dealing with, and you hear them say something, you're like, man, that was confirmation. I don't even tell them I'm dealing with anything, but I got wise counseling around me. Friend of mine, Stephen Turner. Even I got a guy named Mark Cooley, who,
Mhm.
he owned two franchise restaurants here in my city also, you know. And but yeah, those people and other entrepreneurs that embrace me and people, So it's just I don't want to seem like I'm trying to forget people and nothing like that. I'm really not. It's just that, yeah, they all show me love.
Mhm. Gotcha. Gotcha. Now, when it comes to, the early success, we always like talking about celebrating here at BRP, and some celebrate, some don't. But thinking back, did you celebrate these successes? And if you did, what happened? What'd you do?
I was too cocky back then. When I celebrated my first, I was too cocky. I need
Mhm.
to humble down a little bit, and I got to that point. I try to stay in the moment, just the moment, because I
Mhm.
know life is not over. It's still things to accomplish. So
Mhm.
I try to handle my emotions, and I tell my friends they be wanting me to get excited. My cousin, yeah, I'm like, it's all right, it's cool. It's cool. Yeah, you close that deal, man. It's cool. Dang, you doing, you doing this with your plan. It's all right. I got a new contract. It's cool. So I try to really downplay it. But then as my grandpa told me this when I was cutting his grass like a month ago. And he like, you did a good job. And I said, yeah, it's all right. He said, no, do you ever stop and look at your progression? And
Mhm.
that's when now I stop and look at my progression. Because even God stopped and looked at his progression and said this was good.
Mhm. That's
You know,
good. That's good. That's good. I want you to type, wise counsel in the comments. Again, wise counsel in the comments. And the reason I want you, all of our viewers and listeners to do that is because that's one of the major elements to all success stories. And Bruce here just, I mean, he gave it to you just direct and straight, that he has people, professionals, people that he trusts, that he can, call and bounce his ideas off of. Of course, he prays and meditates and takes care of that with his direct connection with God, but he has this wise counsel. And, most people miss it, Bruce. They think that, life and business is a man and woman thing, but they're missing that it's actually a spiritual thing. And, when you're sharing that with us, I just had to really put that on the table so people could connect with that the wise counsel is so important, because this is my belief of it. Your wise counsel, that's your spiritual family, right? That's your spiritual family that are here to help you on your evolution and time of growing and progress. So that's granddad, that's your uncle, and that's everybody else that you named, and anybody else that, he may have forgotten, because it's a long list, but it's a spiritual experience. And wise counsel is key. So put wise counsel in there. And for all of my business owners and my entrepreneurs, if you don't have any wise counsel, you need to start assembling the team as fast as possible, because you can do anything when you have superheroes on your team. Superheroes on the team. All right. Any comment on that before we go to the next topic?
I want to say this. People don't understand we are spiritual beings first before human beings. Because God was, he's a spirit first, before he came flesh and, and Jesus. So, and also I just wanted to say, before I, forget, I wanted to shout out Jale's Creation, Purpose of Pain, Bust Loop Burger, Game Over Name, Sports Group, Speedway Eatery, and also Loyal Lifestyle, clothing brand.
Absolutely. Thank you. Now, going into the last topic of discussion, we're really excited. We got to learn about your background. We got to learn about the early success and the people affiliated with that. And your lessons have been great. Now we want to learn about what you're doing today. So take us on that journey. What are your products and services? What are you bringing to the marketplace now?
Well, now I'm doing real estate. My goal is to, get into the apartment game. Now, ain't nothing wrong with wholesale. I still do it and stuff like that. I even wholesale apartment buildings. It's more money into that. I'm also got a cleaning company. I'm getting contracts as we speak with that. The marijuana, my cousin has a company which I invested in. He shot me an idea and it made sense, and I invested in that, and we're growing. Also, we built an investment group. Some entrepreneurs from my city. We have an investment group now. We still getting things intact. The investment group is that we're going to start investing and our goal is to try to buy communities now in my home state and be the bank. So it's entrepreneurs that already have their businesses. It's about 4 or 5 of us, and we're coming together and trying to make a change in our city, being culturally giving back and doing our own stipulations for us to build as a culture. What else we doing? A lot of things. The main thing really is getting the apartment building now. That's my main thing with real estate. I know how to do it. God took me on a journey of learning, even when I thought I knew it all. I got people in my corner from networking from California to Texas to St. Louis to Atlanta, Florida, all these people that I'm just got to bring the pieces together, now. And what else we gonna do? I also want to write a book too. I want to write a book.
Okay, gotcha. So now that you're in apartment buildings, you're building this investor network. You guys are going to build a community up. What does a typical day look like now in your shoes?
Everybody calling your phone. Everybody calling your phone. Another thing what I also about to get into also, which I did last year, was the triple net leases. Like franchise restaurants, which McDonald's might own their land, but Wendy's don't own the land. Burger King don't own the land. They just rent it. They're a long-term tenant. And people understand that is residual income, and now you have retirement. That's another thing. You can either wholesale it, like if you see a place where Jack in the Box just left, or wherever you at, Checkers, Rallies, they just left, you could put a piece of it in there or whatever in there, to get money back flowing. Because definitely when it's in a prime location where it's a lot of traffic coming. So that's another thing I'm getting back into. But like I said, I did a deal last year with that. My partner made about $200,000 off that, just flipping it. I made probably about between 40 or 100,000 off that.
Gotcha. Now, when it comes to real estate and apartment buildings, and you just gave another great strategy, would you say that the market is going up or going down, or is it flatlining? What is going on in your industry? What would you say?
Well, right now, like I said, I have wise counsel. My uncle, Antonio Brooks, he told me, like, he wait for the big dogs, get to moving. You know what I'm saying? The hedge funds, when they get to buying, you don't just jump in there and you can't go against the grain. They control the market, the hedge funds, the banks. So you wait till they get play field. Right now, everybody's sitting because of the recession. So you got to understand until like maybe next year is when, people still in the game. I'm not saying that, but to really, get good prices, it probably become next year when the recession slow down. And, and I think like this with the apartment buildings, where people going to run when they lose their houses, the apartment buildings. And it's not people scared of apartment buildings. It's just another check stub. When you look at it, all the expenses and stuff like that, just another check stub. You just you do the same thing you do with a house, get a mortgage on it. Same thing.
Gotcha. Now, many of our audience, they love reading. They love staying up with, personal development and maybe some real estate books. Do you have any recommendations for, what they could read and keep up to, or where they can go to get more research to, do some personal research?
First, in the entrepreneur world, you got to learn how to have self-control. That's the biggest thing in having perseverance.
Okay.
Things don't happen overnight. I read a book called, and I didn't finish it yet, Automatic Millionaires. I forgot the author of it. Like I said, in another book that I really refer to people, Robert Kiyosaki too, Rich Dad Poor Dad. We all know that. But the game of life and how to play it. I feel that people start with that to learn that you're being guided and really going in the direction of what God really wants you, the direction He wants you to go into, and how to really handle your emotions, because, when you're angry, you're unstable. You got to have some type of balance in your life. And I believe that book would give you some type of balance if you really, listen correctly and really get the wisdom that's in it. Because I learned one thing about wisdom, they nothing but painful experiences. If it's you or someone else that give you wisdom, and now you have knowledge on it, and and this you got people that's gonna shut doors in your face, and it looks beautiful when you got the money, but when you really step into it and now you in it, now you be like, dang, I didn't know it was like this, So
yeah, and so as far as your market is concerned, the world issues, let's say COVID, Russia, Ukraine, all of these, situations, are they affecting or interest rates going up? Are all of these, things affecting your business or no? How do you feel about that?
No, because God is my provider. He made everything. So as long as I put my faith in Him, yes, I'll be affected in some type of way, but not as people that panic. It's called faith. Your faith going to works when stuff like this happens, or you're gonna panic, you're gonna fold, or you're gonna put your trust back in God, and it's all part of a test. So it don't affect me none. Actually, God steady been blessing me in of all these floods going on. And I'm not talking about flood and actual floods in our life, where we have all these viruses, we had all these people, these killings, and and everything else. And God steady keep me in his hands and allow me to progress as long as I keep holding his hand.
Mm-hmm. Mm-hmm. Now, where do you see the company in the next 5 years? What would you say?
My grandpa, my grandpa told me this. He's like, the ideas that I got. He said, "That's a billionaire idea. You know, that's billions." I'm thinking millions. You know, I'm just thinking millions. You know, because a million is not hard to get. It's about keeping.
Mm-hmm.
You know, that's the thing. But I just want to be stable. That's it. I don't, wherever God want to take me, you know, from this day forward. That's it. Yeah, I love to touch my first million, in which I will. But I'm content with the progression and the things he's doing in my life now. You know, if he stopped doing things for me right now, and how the pace that it's going right now, I'm good with it. But I see my companies, you know, $1 million for each company, because the people I have around me, and me staying focused.
Absolutely. Absolutely. Now, we have business owners and entrepreneurs paying attention. So
Yeah.
we're going to have to, do this for them. What are your top 3 business tips?
Like you said before, go outside the box, connect with other entrepreneurs. Don't ever ask someone who got millions of dollars. You know, I was on the phone with a billionaire before named Gordon Bazaar. Don't ask them for money. The money is really in the knowledge you have. You know, always plan your day. That's 2. And also then be willing to learn, be a student. Because everything the billionaire said is Gordon Bazaar. He stayed in the game so long because he's reinventing himself. Because time changes, and you have to keep reinventing yourself.
Mm-hmm.
You know.
Absolutely, absolutely. Now, we have a few different type of people watching this episode right now. We have people that are already in the industry. They see you right now, and they hear your voice. They see the truth, and they're like, you know what? I want to collaborate. I want to join hands and join forces with Bruce. I want to get in touch with you. We also have folks that are about to sell their house, or they're about to sell an apartment, and they're looking for somebody that they could sell that property to. We also have a few folks that are just investors, and they want their money to go into the right places. And with your expertise and your experience, we know that you can put that money in the right places. And last but not least, we have some of the younger generation. They're looking up to you right now, and they're inspired by what you're saying, your background, your story. And all of these folks, all of us here at Business Revolution Podcast, especially the audience, we want to learn how we can get in touch with you. What's your website? What's your email? Let us know. We want to get in contact. What would you say?
My Instagram page is I am Bossman Bruce 3.0. Facebook page is Bruce Bird. My email address is bruceb21299@gmail.com. If you decide you want to get in contact with me just to talk, and just whatever it may be, maybe you just need help along your journey, because I believe that people can help with the wounds, and give you ammunition along your journey. Business tips also, so that's how you can reach me.
Awesome. Now, as you follow Bruce, remember to go to the businessrevolutionpodcast.com for the full version of this episode. And with that said, thanks again so much for your time today, Bruce. And until next time, this has been Brent the Businessman and the Business Revolution Podcast, the place where business owners and entrepreneurs come for more leads, more sales, and more profits. Take care, everybody. Thanks, Bruce.
All right, then.
Also, follow Brent the Businessman on YouTube, LinkedIn, TikTok,